Let's go to North London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 2, Manchester United 2. A game where if either of those teams had won, Rob, they would have gone second in the Premier League, which is a little bit crazy considering what we know of both these teams. But United go ahead to Mbeumo in the first half. Fifth goal of this Premier League goal of the season for him. He was Player of the Month for October. Then subs in the second half, changed the game. Tell came on, scored a great goal. Richarlison gets a diverted header to put them 2-1. And then De Ligt, set pieces again, letting Spurs down, not picking up. De Ligt gets a free header. Share of the points was 2-2. And I suppose in the end felt about the right result, Rob. But, I mean, I think both teams are disappointed. Manchester United probably felt there was an opportunity for them to get all 3 points in the game, didn't get it. For Spurs to go 2-1 up so late and then let that go, disappointment again for Thomas Frank in this home form where I think they've only had 3 wins in the calendar year.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel a little bit more for Spurs right now, Rob. There's 10 injuries.
Yeah.
There's 10 injuries. And most of them, the most creative players, their main striker, and Solanke's out right now.
Madison,
and again, I think people don't consider this stuff enough. You see the lineup, you go through the lineup. Oh, I know him. That's a pretty good team, But you forget about what they don't have there. So, I do feel for the manager a little bit. I'm not particularly buzzing watching Tottenham at the moment, Rob. The way that they're playing, it's a little bit. But again, for me, I just do that. Like, listen, we all know that every club gets injuries, right? And there's one or two, and there's little changes, and that's fine. And you've got to keep your main level. But when you've got 10 players out, if you look at a league table of injuries right now, Spurs are way out. They're way out there with the 10 injuries. So that I just thought I'd mention that. Matthias Tell, pleased for him to come off the bench, get his goal. Funny kind of game. Spurs fans, I think, don't really know what they should be cheering, what they should be booing.
They booed at half-time, didn't they, when they were 1-0 down?
Yeah, I mean, fair play, Rob. They come back. I mean, it's an awkward environment at Spurs a little bit because of all the things I just mentioned, and they got, we talk about character, right? I think when a home team goes down like that, and you've got to try and pull up, you've got to try and come back in. They almost came back late and won the game totally. I think it takes a bit of character because at home we know what it's like when it's an awkward environment and the fans are a little bit booey. It definitely affects players. I thought they got on with it pretty well. Got back in it, thought they were going to win it. They conceded the goal at the end there to Man United team, Rob. And Man United. So it just got me thinking, again, there's 3 changes to the team.
Yeah.
3 changes to the Man United team.
No Šeško, was there, which was big news, really.
He's dropped. Second half he comes on.
Yeah, Diallo comes on. He comes on, has a chance.
And Mbeumo, Rob.
Played off the left.
My question, I'm going to throw a question to you. I'm just going to make this little statement, right? So Šeško's dropped.
Yeah.
And Mbeumo's gone from the right side where he's been brilliant all his career. He gets his goal, of course, but he plays on the left-hand side. There's changes to the team. Subs in the second half made them worse. And then I know some were forced because there were some injuries.
Yeah, they got injuries, didn't they? Casemiro,
and he didn't leave one for an injured player.
Yeah.
My question to you is Ruben Amorim, Rob, over-managing, overthinking, over-tinkering? Is he overdoing it and complicating things with all these changes that we didn't see coming? Where they sit now, they sit 7th.
Yeah. They could have been second, Rob, and so that's the point. I think the Šeško thing was interesting. Actually, him coming out and saying, actually, he's not playing very well and he wasn't happy about it, and he's talked now about the window. I didn't think that's good. I didn't think that helped Šeško at all. I'm not sure that's great management. The kid comes on and has 2 chances. He gets played through twice.
Yeah,
and looked awkward. And then he's got the knee injury now, which isn't going to do him any good. So that, personally, it was interesting after the game as well, Rob, because he talked about, we were comfortable in the first half and comfortable teams know how to get success, and we didn't know how to make the most of that, which was true. But it's pretty obvious, based on what we've seen so far, Šeško's not going to be part of his plans on big days, like they did at the Liverpool game, wasn't it? He did the same thing.
Yeah, again, it was. They spent a lot of money on attacking players at the football club, and I think we questioned that at the time. Like, wow, there's big holes in the team in other areas, and you're going to bring another forward in. I think you made a point after the game, Rob, and I agreed when you said that at Man United, when they're winning the game, we just talked about Spurs, the environment. They're there for the taking. They were there for the taking. Go and be dominant. Go and get a second goal, a third goal. Go and put them away. Or or possess the ball, take the sting out of the game.
Yeah.
Manchester United at the moment, and this is what's probably surprised Ruben Amorim himself more than anything, he's a guy that really wants to dominate possession. He wants to have possession, and he's finding that difficult in this league for this team to really control the game, and because that's what he can get his wing backs high. That's the football that he wants to that's what he believes in. Not when it's up and down or they're without the ball and got 5 in a line with 4. He doesn't really want to do that. So I was disappointed that they didn't go on and take control. And a lot of the subs, I just thought I just sub after sub after sub. Again, I know there's, I think
he had a few injuries, didn't he? Casemiro and Maguire.
It changes everything. And they didn't do well after the subs came on.
Yeah, well, it was one of them games where, do you know, Rob, I said afterwards to Tim something, both of these teams are Spurs and United, are both a bit flawed in some. There's good elements to them, and you can see what they're trying to do, but they both still got lots of issues to
But United, Rob, are further on.
Yeah, they are with this further manager. On. Yeah, they are further on, and that's why they should have made the most. Should have made the most of the situation, and didn't against a Spurs team that are not particularly good at home. So, listen, mate, we're going to roll it on to just do a quick preview of the North London derby that comes after the international break. It's a Sunday game. It's a huge game. It's Arsenal face Tottenham on November the 23rd, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. So make sure you're viewing that one. North London derby, mate. After the international break, both teams coming off a 2-2 draw. Who's better? Bit of spotlight on Arsenal, like with Man City being 4 points behind. And I think City could have played, couldn't they, before Arsenal?
They play on Saturday, do they?
On that day,
I'm not sure.
Possibly. So yeah, they could be like right behind them.
Yeah. I just think this derby is one of those derbies, isn't it, Rob, where it's such an emotional game that you bring that into it. That brings more energy. That brings more aggression. That brings more, derbies, what they do is they bring more focus. So where you might be a little more casual in everyday games, like you're going to track the runner. I've got to make sure I track my runner. I want to get wired in because the fans want me to get stuck in. So you got a little bit more added. If it wasn't that, I mean, you strongly fancy Arsenal. I still fancy them anyway to win.
Yeah.
But the aura of City doing what they're doing and it being a derby, and the Spurs fans will demand effort, energy and aggression. That can sometimes mess a game up. It can be stop-start. But all that being said, you still, it's not as though Arsenal are looking shaky, Rob, or they had a bad performance against Sunderland. It wasn't. It was just a very difficult game. And with the injuries that Tottenham have got right now, they're nowhere near their best. Arsenal have got hardly any injuries, really. Well, I mean, I know there's a few to come back. Some of the attacking players that are getting quite close.
He's hopefully getting a few back, isn't he? He said.
Yeah, I think Havertz. Yeah, and
Madueke and Gabriel Jesus. Is it? Yeah. I'm also thinking, Rob, and just because of the guy and what we know and how he is, Thomas Frank will have a plan for that, mate, won't he? His first North London derby, a chance for him to kind of. Cement himself a little bit closer to the Tottenham fans. If he could go to the Emirates and get one over Arsenal, that's big for him.
It would be, but that's a big ask. That's hard to do. They've got to, obviously the set piece thing is really, really important. They've got to try their very best to be strong and take that advantage away from Arsenal. And, I guess in Richarlison, he's a streaky player. He got his real clever little flicked header that he scores in the game against United. And he's a sort of player that could go on a streak. He likes to run in behind. I think you have to assume that Arsenal are going to control possession big time. That means that the centre-backs will be involved in the build-up play and they'll be really, really high, which will leave a lot of space in behind. Richarlison might use that. So, I think the subs came on for Mustoe, come on, did well. Odegaard come on and did well for Tottenham. So there is a little bit of pace there. But really, I still worry about Pedro Porro at right side, right defender. He got caught out, didn't defend very well. I don't think he's a brilliant defender at the back post when crosses come in. And Arsenal put crosses in from both sides. So I still quite, of course, I'm going to go with Arsenal to win the game. But it could be, and it probably will be, a scrappy, tight encounter.
Absolutely. And Kudus hopefully will be back for Tottenham as well. He's probably
need him.
Dangerous player so far this season. So Arsenal, Tottenham, don't remember, Sunday, November 23rd, 11:30 Eastern Time on Peacock.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.